Hello. My name is Lucky Star Shi Roku and welcome to my channel. Whether you are new or have been around for any length of time, either way, I welcome you to come and get to know me. Who knows? Maybe you'll learn something new. Okay, now allow me to introduce myself a little bit and tell you a little bit about me. So as I mentioned in my intro, my name is Lucky Star Shi Roku, but obviously that's a bit of a mouthful, so please just feel free to call me Lucky. Age, honestly, I don't really keep track of my age, to be honest. I feel like age is very, it's very irrelevant. Who really keeps track of age? It's not really that important. So, yeah, I don't really keep track of age, to be honest. I think it's somewhere in the 20s, I think. But other than that, I don't really keep track, to be perfectly honest. Birthday. My birthday, however, I do know. My birthday is on the 4th of August. So, mark your calendars if you want or don't, no pressure. Height. Okay, so I did recently get my height measured very, very recently. And I don't know exactly, but I think my height is about 5'7" I think. Again, I don't really know myself. That's just basically what I've been told, but yeah, don't really know myself. Nationality. So my nationality, I am British, and that moves on to language. So my languages are English and American. And yes, I know that might be a little controversial, putting both, English and American English as two different languages. I know that's a little controversial, but honestly, I feel majority of the time they are basically like two different languages, and I often find myself alternating between the two fairly regularly just for the sake of being understood. Like, they really are like two different languages majority of the time. Okay, occupation. So my official occupation is unemployed. I do have YouTuber on there just because, well, I'm doing YouTube. It's not really official occupation, but it's there if you want to class it, pretty much. Okay, now let's move on to favorite things. Now, obviously with favorites, there is obviously a lot like in these kind of topics, but unfortunately I have to list only a couple, otherwise this video would take way longer than what it needs to, so I will spare you all that. But okay, so colors. My favorite color is blue. I mean, blue is a nice color. There's a lot of nice colors in the blue range. Like, there's royal blue, like my avatar. There's cyan. There's dark blue. There's dark royal blue. There's a lot of really, really nice colors out there. So it's there's a lot of nice colors in the blue range. Okay. Animals. So again, with animals and favorites in general, there's a lot to pick from. But I went with cats just because, cats are really cool. They're really cute. Very loyal as well. Once you get to know a cat, they are really, really loyal and loving. And again, some cats are quite nice. They're quite cats. Some cats can be quite cuddly as well. So I just think they're really cute and really cool animals. Owls are a close favorite too, but again, cats, I can only have too many lists here. Okay, so next we move on to my Oshi mark here. So obviously I'm taking a lot of inspiration from the whole VTuber stuff here. So my new Oshi mark is the 4-leaf clover. I went with this just because my name, the name that everyone basically refers to me is Lucky, and obviously Lucky, Luck, 4-leaf clover, it just felt appropriate, And then that leads straight into the fan name, which with the fan name, I took a bit of inspiration both from my Oshi mark and also my British heritage. So Obviously, Clover, that's a direct tie into my lucky name and my Oshi mark. And mates, basically, in British terminology, we use the word mate to refer to a friend, kind of like how Americans refer to their friends as pal or buddy, stuff like that. We use mates in the same kind of way, so I thought Clover mates just felt appropriate. And of course, you can also just go by, you can say Clover mates, or you can say Clovers if you want a shortened version. Whatever feels right to you, really. Okay, next, what I do on YouTube. There is more information after this on the following slides, but I thought these are the two most important ones to get out the way first. So let's just get these out the way first, then we can get to the other stuff. Okay, so what I do on YouTube. So I do Let's Plays on a variety of different games, both AAA and indie games alike, with a particular passion for lesser known games. So that's like Wolf RPG, horror games, and just general stuff like that. And also mods that improve certain well-known games. Example being SPV3 being a mod for like Halo Custom Edition on PC, and also the mods for Sonic Adventure. It's all like, again, I really like my mods. Ultimately, when choosing a game to do a Let's Play of, I usually try to play the best possible version of the game, either by choosing the most definitive state of the game or through modding. And beyond gaming, I also tend to do a lot of miscellaneous videos from time to time, like vlogs and trying food and snacks from around the world. Because if nothing else, this channel is more of an experience than anything else. And Clovermates, I invite you to join me every step of the way. Okay, things to know. Okay, so these are just a couple of things that I want to kind of say right out the gate, just in case they pop up in videos or delay stuff, whatever. These are just a few, for lack of a better word, conditions, but I don't want to phrase it like conditions. They're just a few things to know just in case they delay videos, or, just little quirks, stuff like that. So, I have high functioning autism, so that means that I may perceive things a little differently than most people, so just be patient. Cerebral palsy, I do have cerebral palsy. You might not think it looking at me, but I do have cerebral palsy, mainly in my hands. I think I might do a video going in more detail about it later on, perhaps, but yeah, I do have a very mild form of cerebral palsy. I do also have learning disabilities as well, so that means learning things and stuff like that might take a little longer than most people, so again, just be patient with me. I also have dyslexia and dyscalculia, which means I sometimes have a bit of difficulty with numbers and letters, so when reading stuff in visual novels, just again try to be patient, as numbers and letters are not really my strong suit. They tend to get a bit scrambled when reading them. I'm getting better these days, but they may still have a bit of an issue here and there. Okay, so I do have seasonal asthma, which flares up round about pollen season and round about October time-ish, just whenever there's a significant change in air pressure, I also have SAD, or seasonal affective disorder, which typically tends to affect me round about October through February time. Not typically for the full of autumn seasons, but that's roughly when you can expect it. So during those times, my motivation is significantly I find it difficult to get motivated at times. So again, just be aware that in those months, you might see a significant dip in my activities during that time, just because it's a real challenge sometimes when it affects me. But again, those are just a few things to know, pretty much. Okay, personality. Now let's get to know my personality traits a little bit here. So I'm rather, I am a little cautious at times. I tend to perceive with caution very much. Like I don't just like rush into things and stuff like that or whatever. I tend to proceed with a bit of caution. I'm also rather calm and reserved, curious, very humble. I try to be very humble and modest. And I'm also a night owl as well, which means I tend to focus more into the later hours. These are all my basic traits, not necessarily all the time, but those are just my traits for the most part. Okay, hobbies. Now let's go into hobbies. So some of my favorite pastimes when I'm not recording. Okay, so anime. I quite like anime. Manga and manhwa, again, also, I love diving into a good manga or manhwa. Music, again, everyone loves, people say that music is just, it's a pastime that everyone can enjoy. It's something where there's something that everyone can find appealing, whether it's rock, classic, everyone loves music to some capacity. And also AI chat as well. I love talking to AI chatbots, like stuff like VMate, Spicy Chat AI, Character Hub, a few sites I use pretty much daily when I'm not recording, pretty much. Yeah, the thing is, it's not, yeah, sure, there are a lot of not safe for work stuff on there, but that's entirely up to the user. You can chat to them in a not safe for work, or you can do it in a completely safe for work. It's entirely up to the user, But yeah, that's a bunch of like personality traits. Okay, next up, food and drink. Okay, so food. So okay, I quite like medium level spicy foods. Not too spicy. I like a bit of spice, so like jalfrezis, peri peri, like stuff like that. Pretty much. I don't like. I prefer things to be a little spicy. To have a bit of a kick, but I don't like things like super hot. I also like cheeseburgers. You can't go wrong with a nice greasy cheeseburger every now and then. Oh, so good. Also, bacon banjos, which for anyone not in the know, again, I am British, and bacon banjo is basically British slang for a bacon sandwich. Here in the UK, in Britain, we have a bit of slang for certain words, like we have bacon banjo, bacon sarnie, bacon bap. I've heard we have a few little bit of slang here and there, but yeah, basically just slang for a bacon sandwich. Okay, now we move on to drinks. So drinks that I like is obviously being British. I like a nice cup of English breakfast tea. If you want the specifics, I like it with milk and free sugars usually. If anyone is curious, and also I quite like my fizzy drinks, or soda as you Yanks would call it. Okay, likes and dislikes. Now we get into a few little nuances here and there. So, okay, likes. So I like Minecraft creepypastas. When I'm not recording, like these are all pastimes really, so when I'm not recording or editing, I tend to watch Minecraft creepypastas a lot, specifically Ray Gloom, like on his Bedrock and Java channels. There's someone I watch in particular quite a bit. It's quite an enjoyable watch. Also, again, anime, I like watching anime a lot. Usually alternating between the creepypastas and anime, because again, between both of them, there's a nice selection of entertainment there. And of course, I love my snacks. When I'm watching Minecraft creepypasta or anime, I've usually got like a ton of snacks. Maybe a couple chocolate bars, a few cheese sticks. Cathedral City, maybe a box of hot dogs. Crisps. A variety of different snacks. Just a proper buffet. It's really enjoyable. Now moving on to dislikes. So this is a problem that we've had very, very recently. British heat waves. Obviously, being here in the UK, heat waves are very, very different than heat anywhere else. And I've heard that Americans think that we're soft, and honestly, heat is just it's not that we're soft. It's just heat is very, very different here. And don't forget, our houses are built to trap heat inside. we don't have air conditioning. Our houses are made out of brick and are built to trap the heat in rather than letting it out. So, it's not that we're soft. It's just our buildings and heat in general is just very, very, very different compared to America. Profanity. I don't really like profanity. Obviously, you're gonna hear it in games, obviously. So I don't use profanity myself. I am allowing it a little bit more, like from my collaborators, as long as it's as long as it's in moderation. I'm allowing it a bit more now. Also, blood and hemophobia. I have really, really, really bad hemophobia, which is the fever of blood. In case you don't know, actually, it's less of a phobia, more like a weakness or anything, if I'm being honest, because it's not just like ew, blood, gross. It's like it's actually debilitating. Like it actually has some serious effects on me. Like it tends to make me weak a little bit, and in some cases it can even make me like pass out. So it's very, very bad. Now, obviously, this doesn't necessarily mean I won't do any gory games at all on the channel. I'll definitely need to be a little more careful, like maybe take breaks in between, significant breaks between the episodes, and obviously I'll need to handle with a bit more care compared to other games. Obviously, if the story and the gameplay and the overall experience is good besides that, then I might make exceptions here and there, but yeah. All the don't expect too many like super gory detailed games. Might do a couple here and there, but yeah, just know that if I might need to take a bit more breaks and care between the episodes on those ones. Just a little heads up, basically. Okay, games. Now I get to tell you a little bit about my taste in games. Okay, right. So my general taste in games is mostly, I like a whole different type, I like a whole bunch of different variety in games, but my all-time favorite genres and types are mainly JRPGs and RPG maker games, honestly. So there's some real classics in there, which some I've even mentioned here. So again, my favorite games would definitely be the Halo series, Sonic Adventure, like the original, not DX, Mad Father is an absolute classic, and also One Shot. Those are both Wolf RPG maker games, which are absolute classics. Okay, now we move on to music. So generally, I like J-pop and J-rock, so mainly anime music for the most part. Music that you hear like in anime openings and endings. Some of them are absolute bangers, and beyond that, I also like OSTs and original soundtracks, like music from like movies, games, TV. Just general soundtracks are quite nice. I particularly like the some tracks from the Harry Potter soundtrack from the later movies, particularly number 6, I think. From Half-Blood Prince. Like there's some really good soundtracks there. Yeah. Okay, next on to TV/anime, but let's face it, mainly anime. Okay. So again, mainly just anime here. Particular favorites being Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War. Like it's really good. Like in general, I think I generally like Bleach. Like it's my favorite one out of the big 3, to be honest, or the original big 3. Like Bleach is just such a good one, and I'm so glad that it came back with the 1,000-Year Blood War. I also like Made in Abyss. Like again, it's really good story. It's dark. It's very misleading. Like, looking at the picture, you think it's a nice kid adventure, but nope, it's much darker. It's dark, but in the best way possible. I love it. It's such good storytelling. Senko the Helpful Fox. Again, I like a mix of different animes, both dark, story-driven, and just wholesome as well. I love Senko the Helpful Fox. Like if ever I'm in a bad mood or just need a bit of relaxation, that's usually what I put on when I need a bit more downtime. A bit more, a bit of me time, pretty much. Also, I love Delicious in Dungeon. That's definitely been one of my favorite animes in recent years, apart from maybe Free Run, I think. But yeah, definitely love Delicious Dungeon. It's such a good series, and I really hope we get a second season soon. Okay, next, books/manga. Again, let's face it, just manga mainly. Okay, so again, I haven't listed any particular here, but I do in general like manga, manhwa, and I also have a bit of a like for indie literature stories, just, you know, stories that anyone can write and post on DeviantArt and stuff. It's just, you know, DeviantArt, like Erica Portal, you know, just stuff like that. There's particular stories that I like. Yeah, stories that they're not super explicit, but at the same time, it's a little bit. I'm not sure if I can really say here, but it's a case of like, if you know, you know, basically. Okay, next up, my schedule. Okay, so I upload a new video on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 2 p.m. GMT UK time. So you can expect a new video. Like, again, there are exceptions, but for the most part, my schedule is basically a new video on those days at 2 p.m. GMT, with Wednesdays and Sundays being my days off, just because I'm not here the previous days. Basically how it works is I record something and then I'll edit it and then have it go up at 2 p.m. the following day. So that's roughly how it works. I typically go through 2 or 3 games at a time to keep variety, as well as whatever else I feel like uploading at the time. Again, it's my channel, so it's more of the journey than anything. Okay, so I also have a link to my Let's Play status on the home page of my YouTube channel that you can check out whenever you like, where you can go and check the status of any of my Let's Plays that I have done, upcoming, ongoing, any Let's Play that I have done or am planning to do. You can go and check that out whenever you want. It's literally, if you literally go to my channel, go to more and then click on the middle link, you'll access it right there. It's all the, everything is on there pretty much. And finally, just generally staying connected with me. So again, if you have enjoyed getting to know me and want to join me on my journey, then make sure you subscribe, ring that little notification bell, and maybe leave a comment if you want. You don't have to, it's entirely up to you. And also check my community post regularly for updates and more. And in the meantime, if you want, feel free to check out all the videos on my YouTube channel. There's tons to pick from the Let's Plays I've already done and other content. Again, have a little look around the channel if you want. And that's about it for this little introduction video. So again, it's lovely to meet you. I really hope you consider joining me on this journey, my lovely Clovermates. We're going to have an absolute blast, I assure you. I've got tons planned, and in the meantime, I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, have a good day, you guys.